great and fabulous Patty Norona.
Thank you. So this morning I decided to change things up a bit. One of the biggest things that I'm terrible at is having coaching sessions with everybody. I just don't have enough time during the day between running the business, the family, or the daughter, or anything like that. So I'm going to treat this more like a coaching session for you guys to get to know me. So I've been in the industry since 1992. So that's about 28 years. Started out in high school. I moved down here in Southern California in 94, 95, and started with an agency there. I was with a mom and pop agency for a long time, working in different credit unions. That's how they set everything up. Then had my family, had my kids, stayed with that company for 13 years and decided to jump ship and say, I could do this. I could do this. It was scary, considering the fact that we had just moved to Stevenson Ranch, just had a baby, and I'm leaving a stable job to start on my own. But what helps is having a supportive spouse, and he's helped me every single step of the way. From now I started that in 2006, and now here we are, 2020, and my agency is comprised of 9 different agents. I have one that's been in the insurance industry for 55 years. I have another one for 35 years, myself with 28. Another one that's actually been there for 40 years, and she is actually running my Vista office. So we're all throughout California. We're licensed here in California, Nevada, and Arizona to help the clients that are trying to transition or move or have a vacation home. One of the biggest things I have done is I've stepped back a little bit from the sales side, and I am helping develop a lot of my agents. And that's what I like to do. Now I'm in this process of changing lives that way. So one of my old office manager who's transitioned to become an agent or an outside producer, she is actually going to be one of the honorees for Single Mothers Outreach, because when I first met her, she was lost. And here she is. Now she developed a book, and she is able to be an outside producer, and now she wants to do what she wants to do, which is go back to school and study psychology. So I was able to help her do that. I was able to help her change her life. Another person I met through my daughter's school, she again was lost. It was during the 2008 mortgage crisis. She didn't know what to do. I told her about this opportunity. She came and worked with me, and now, a couple years in, she actually has her own farmer's agency. So these are the things I'm looking to do, is to change people's lives. And the biggest thing for me too, and the reason why I got into this industry, is the passive income, and to give me the ability to spend time with my family, do the things for the community, help with different organizations, and help support you guys, whatever activities you guys might have. That's why I'm here. So that's a little bit about me and my agency. Now, some of the questions that you guys had asked me was, now I'm going to get to the more technical side, the insurance side, which no one really likes to listen to, but I'm going to tell you anyways. Here's the trends. So home insurance is a big doozy right now. It's a big roller coaster. There's so many carriers that are no longer wanting to write in the state. It got really bad that the governor said, you guys have to stop. He forced these insurance companies to stop non-renewing people. Just because what's happening is it's spiking the rates, and people are not able to get insurance. People are not able to buy homes in fire zones. People are not able to close escrow, things like that. So that's one of the biggest trends right now. That's only for a year. So we don't know what's going to happen. Everyone is looking to me like, is there a crystal ball? No, we don't know what's going to happen after the year. Hopefully, the governor will step in again and say, hey, Let's do this again. Let's extend this moratorium for another year. That's what I'm hoping for. But unfortunately, yeah, everyone's pretty much stuck right now. What kind of products do we sell? So we do auto, home, commercial, workers' comp, health, everything that you can think of in the spectrum. We're a full service agency. I have an agent that specializes in a lot of different things. And then there's me who has to constantly help with my continuing education. What do I specialize in more? What is my target? Is small business owners. Small business, like established owners. And the reason being is I realize those guys need help the most. I'm more of like a insurance secretary for them. So that's what I want to be. They come to me for everything. They need to run a business. They don't have time to sit and say, what does this mean? What is this? No, we're on it for them and saying, hey, you need to get me this information. And we're specific about it. So if it's work comp, give me your payrolls. I need your payrolls from this date to this date to this date. They don't want to sit here and look at a piece of paper and try to read and try to decipher what this is in layman's terms. No, we do that for them. So those are our target markets. Let's see. Let me go in here, see what else other questions that you guys had asked me. Sorry. What do I do in my fun time? Is there a fun time? Well, I actually just...
It's always fun time.
There is always, oh, thank you. There's always fun time.
It's a workout piece, that's for sure.
Can you give me an example of what we can save with multiple policies? So most insurance carriers, they give you discounts for bundles. There's auto and home, which is your normal. Usually it's 15 and 20%, so that's 35% total that you can get off of your full premium. Then there's, if you add on additional lines, for instance, life insurance, you can get an additional 5%. You add on, if you have a boat, that's another 5%. If you have an RV, that's another 5%. So it can really add up. That's close to, actually that's about 50% that you can.
Is the discount off the, is it off just that one product, or is it off of everything?
It's off the whole bundle. So this is the whole thing. So it would be off of your auto, your home, you start to pile on those
So
discounts.
It's not just on that, like the auto portion is, 10% off, and then something else is regular kind of.
Absolutely. And then there's your typical discounts, which is your good driver. Everyone always says, hey, you can save 20%. Well, that's normal. Those are, if you ever tap onto those little things, advertisements online that says, hey, you may be paying too much, you get, the insurance companies are hiding 20%. Well, that's actually already built in to the system. So there's the good driver discounts, multi-car discounts, professional discounts or affinity. So if you have a college degree, you're a teacher, realtors, we actually give discounts for realtors. Doctors, engineers, scientists, those normal things. Those normal things. So, yeah. That's me. Here I am. Is there any questions?
Question. So, is the mileage report, is that typical at the end of each segment that will ask you?
Yes. So back in, I believe it was 83, don't quote me on that year, but in 83, Prop 103 came out. And for California, we're actually pretty lenient here in California. 103. So they are, in California, we are allowed to rate an auto policy based on years licensed, someone's driving record, and how many miles they drive. Those are the biggest categories that we can use. Most of other states, they actually use what's called a FARA scoring or a credit scoring. So California tried to bring that in. It did not pass. But yeah, there could be a difference between your rate based on credit, because a lot of the insurance industry decided that there's a correlation between credit and losses. So, yes.
It's a two-part question. So I just got solar panels.
Okay.
Okay, so I'm wondering, should my homeowner's insurance be revisited when your experience, or is that something that you should
Yes.
let your homeowner insurance know?
You should actually be doing, anytime you do improvements, let them know, because it changes the replacement costs on your house. And that's really important right now, because with the losses and the fires and stuff, we've realized that there's a lot of people that are completely underinsured. I mean, they don't understand at the time when they're having to pay their premiums, you know, and one of the biggest issues we have is out in the Antelope Valley, where people pay like $500,000 or something for a 4,000 square foot home. However, to insure that home, it's going to be close to $750,000, $800,000. And they're like, why am I insuring it for more than what I bought it for? Well, people have to understand that when these builders go in and build these homes, they're buying bulk. They can cut costs, they have all these things. But if you're having to build from the bottom up, especially if there was a fire or something, you have other things involved, like debris removal, pulling permits. Permits is huge. So all of those things, plus now you're buying as an individual as opposed to buying as a builder. You have another question?
Yeah.
Oh, that was it. Barry? Sorry.
I'm just going to make a comment. So, I'm all about relationships. Amazing friendships that can last forever. Back in the 90s, I met this wonderful guy named Ernesto Norona, who was helping me on a loan. And we started talking 25 years ago, and he told me about his incredible wife.
Aww.
She's been my insurance agent ever since. And if that isn't an amazing thing, she's in my kitchen. I'm calling her while she's cooking dinner. This has been going on for 27 years. It's an amazing tribute to you, because
Thank you.
that is all that and a bag of chips.
Thank you. Sean, hold on, John.
So question, because I just dealt with this with a buddy of mine, and then I got in a motorcycle accident like a couple years ago.
Oof.
And I learned something. So can you explain, and this is kind of for everybody here, like full coverage versus full coverage and underinsured?
Yes, so liability is what's required by the state law. The minimum requirements here in California is actually one of the lowest all throughout the states. The only thing that's required is 15,000 bodily injury per person, 30,000 per accident, and 5,000, which is property damage. Property damage is any other objects you hit. This could be cars, trees, lampposts, whatever they may be. Most cars are worth more than $5,000. So we usually recommend higher limits. Now, if you have a loan on a car or a motorcycle, they require that the bike or the car is covered, so that's comprehensive and collision. That is all what constitutes full coverage. Then there's all this other stuff in between, like uninsured motorist, underinsured motorist. That's a big thing. So uninsured motorist, underinsured motorist covers you if you get hit by someone without insurance. It's for injuries, loss of wages. So if you got someone who hits you and they only have $15,000 of liability and you're injured, especially if you were in a motorcycle accident and you know the medical payments are quite a bit more, then your underinsured motorist, uninsured and underinsured motorist will kick in. So that is very helpful. And you don't necessarily have to be hit in a car when that happens. So you could be walking on the sidewalk, all of a sudden someone comes and hits you and it's a hit and run. If you get a license plate, you're good. So yeah, very important. There's a lot of other little tiny coverages in there. Not very tiny, very important coverages in there that when you sit down with us, we'll go over different scenarios. And we'll say, well, you know, this is this and this is this. And people don't realize that it's actually very minimal cost. It's like maybe $30 every 6 months.
Like mine, to go to $1 million policy is $14 a month.
Exactly. Yes, ma'am.
Quick question,
Yeah.
and you're almost up. Real quick, what's your coverage, or do you guys still cover for renter and for owner for dominant breeds? Because I get asked this a lot when people are coming in to
Yeah.
rescue. or wanting to adopt, and I always try to turn it, go ask Patty.
There's a company out there that actually we will piggyback off of a renter's and homeowner's insurance because a lot of them do not want the pit bulls, the Stafford Terriers, whatever you might kind of call them.
I know.
German Shepherd is another one, which I'm in that boat because I have a German Shepherd. And he's the easiest thing, you know, no issues or no problems. But if your homeowner's insurance won't cover it and they exclude it, there is another policy you can get on top of that just for the dogs.
So just do what I've been doing and see Patty.
You got it.
Do you have time?
Do I have time?
No? Okay, I can ask her later.
All right. Thank you, folks.